Hey guys, it's Casmo here. I just want to make a quick guide for Wrath Beta Rogue, so you can kind of set your character up super fast and jump in arenas as fast as possible without too much thought. Getting into it, first thing you want to do, you're logged in, you're going to be starting out here where your character is going to be placed. You want to go up to the Rogue vendor, and then as far as minor glyphs, you're going to have minor glyph of Distract, really helpful for stopping drinks. Glyph of Vanish, which increases your movement speed by 30%. This is going to be really helpful because right now in Wrath Beta, there are a lot of things right now that are kind of buggy, as well as just things that are just normally breaking your Vanish, so you need to be as far away as possible. So this is going to help you get that extra distance, so when you vanish, you're not going to get global out by some RNG thing. And then as far as the third one, Glyph of Safeful, probably your most useful one, I guess, in Arena for, I don't know, maybe falling off of Dalaran Arena or something like that coming out the gates. That's about it. The only alternative you can run is a Glyph of Blurred Speed. This is going to help you with questing a lot, and I highly recommend it as far as questing because there's a lot of water quests where you're going to want to have this to get back on land as fast as possible and or mount on beta, especially considering on beta right now you can actually fly and buy cold weather flying for your characters based on just making the 80 template. So really big glyph for if you're actually playing the game, you're actually leveling. As far as major glyphs alternatives, Glyph of Hemo, tried it out, not really helpful. You are going to be hemoing a decent amount, and that 40% damage seems like it should be a lot, but at the moment it does not feel like it's very good. The only other one I can technically recommend that you might want to sub out for possibly sprint or prep would be this Glyph of Eviscerate. Gives you extra 10% on your Eviscerate, which is obviously going to end up stacking with improved Eviscerate from your talents. Like you're obviously is just Eviscerate damage, ambush damage all the time, so that's going to be really helpful. So now we've gotten our gold, we've gotten our glyph set up. Let's get into our talent tree. So right now we're going to look at our talents. Currently, right now, most people are running this kind of deal as far as assassination goes. You want to get Vigor. You're going to fill out Ruthlessness. You're going to fill out Improved Eviscerate. Puncturing Wounds really important. You're sacrificing the 3 points in Malice to actually make sure you're getting these 3 points and improve this rate. I know a lot of people are going to be questioning this because it's like, oh, why would I give up 3% crit? Trust me, it's worth it. Eviscerate damage is insane right now in beta. We're going to go over to combat. Combat, you're going to go into 3 out of 3 for your improved gouge. This is going to be really insane. It's good for following up from a cheap shot in the kidney in the gouge or just cheap shot gouge kidney. This is going to be making sure you're abusing your sap TR outside of saps on your kill targets. We go over here, we're going to go in sub. Sub's going to be your biggest decision making as far as like how you want to play the game and what you typically want to do. You're definitely going to go 5 out of 5 relentless strikes. You're going to go 2 out of 2 opportunity. You're going to come in here, you're going to 2 out of 2 dirty tricks. You're going to send either a decent amount here. I think you need 3 here. So you want to put 3 into Master Deception or 3 into Camouflage, or you can split it up kind of like this. Then you're going to come down here, 2 Elusiveness, 3 Slater Blades. You're going to do 3 Initiative, 2 out of 2 Improve Ambush, 2 out of 2 Heightened Senses, 1 Preparation, 2 out of 2 Dirty Deeds, 1 Hemo. So you have a combo open builder outside of backstab, so you can, obviously when you can't get their back. Deadliness, keep this at, I think, 2 or 3, whatever you need to get to the next tree. This is going to be optional, and you're going to be taking points out of this. I know it's weird because it's like a big damage increase, but trust me. Pre-med, then you're going to go on Cheat Death, and then you have 5 out of 5 Sinister Calling. You're going to go 2 out of 2 Waylay, 3 out of 3 Autumn Among Thieves, 1 in Shadow Step, 2 into Filthy Tricks, 5 into Slaughter from the Shadows, and then, of course, 1 in the Shadow Dance. And your filler points, here you're going to have Master Deception and Camouflage. You can switch these up however you want. It needs to be 1 in 3 or 2 in 2 within the 4 points. Figure out what you want to do. I feel really comfortable right now in beta with 3 out of 3 Master Deception, just because there are a lot of rogue teams. It's helping me get the openers a lot more. You can probably get by with 2 out of 3, but at least have 1 into it. You're going to have 1 out of 3 into Camouflage at least, just for the reduction in the stealth cooldown. If you want, you can go 3 out of 3 for the increased movement speed and then the extra decrease in the stealth ability. But personal preference, I really recommend just running this 3 out of 3. and then 1. You can typically run whatever you want, just like fill it out, but that's what I recommend if you just don't want to think about it too much. Another idea for the additional points, and even taking 1 out of deadliness, is you can put 1 into master subtlety, or even if you wanted to, you can literally take all these points, 3 out of this, and then put it over here and just fully dump it. I don't recommend that. I noticed that a lot of rogues are running 1 into master subtlety. I know Mir puts 1 point into it. I'm not sure why he only puts 1. The 4% damage seems kind of like not that helpful, but he does run that on all of his setups. So that's another optional thing. As far as gearing setups, you're going to go in, you're going to buy your helm, you're going to buy your shoulders, chest, gloves, legs, all that savage. None of the stuff you need to worry about. You're going to buy the shanker, of course, obviously, because you need to backstab and you need to ambush, so you're going to want a manhand dagger. As far as offhands, your best bet is going to be the shiv. It's more consistent. The only other option you can run is like maybe like I don't know the axe and like the fist weapon or whatever. I do run the fist weapon just because it's a little bit more consistent damage. You give up like I think 2 shiv energy or something, maybe 1, which isn't that big of a deal because we're not on ticks anymore, so it's just consistent energy flow. So it's not as noticeable as it would be on BC. But I just run it just kind of it's like different as far as the left ripper. Just looks kind of cooler, I guess. Personal preference. So that's gonna be your gearing setup. What you're gonna want to do after you get your gear is you want to mount up and then go to your collating faction. So I'm Horde, so I'm gonna be running over here. Alliance has the same thing over on the other side. You'll kind of figure that out. It's like up the stairs. It's usually walking and stuff like that. So you want to come over here as a rogue. You want to run. You want to find this neck pendant of the Outcast hero. You're gonna buy that. You're gonna buy Mirror of Truth. And you're also going to buy the Throne Weapon, Lilhoff's Wing Blades. So you're going to be able to buy 3 things as a rogue. It's pretty nice, just because we have the option of spending the rest of our 15 badges on a Throne Weapon. So you're going to run on your 5-piece Savage gear, and you're going to have the neck for badges, and then you're going to keep this cape. You're going to keep these bracers. You're going to keep the belt they give you. You're going to run Savage legs, obviously. You're going to keep the boost they give you. You're going to have this etch ring. You're going to have the rune ring. You're going to have Mirror Truth, and you're going to run Spear. Also, if you're not Alliance, like my tune technically is, you want to go to this last page. You want to buy the Medallion of the Horde. You want to run that. So, I'm not sure exactly what's technically better. I've been running Human most of the time. I'm going to say Mirror Truth's going to be really good. If you're running Skirms or double DPS, I want to say this attack power trinket's going to outweigh it very well because you'll be able to get more burst on your dance openers. That's all your damage is you want to have dance goes. So probably want to run this and then macro it into your shadow dance if you're not Alliance. But if you're Alliance, obviously you're running this Spear of the Red Dragon's Blood as well as Mirror's Truth. If you're running with a healer, Trinket and then Mirror Truth. That this amount of attack power is just you can't ignore that when it procs. And if you have a healer keeping you up and your games aren't 30 seconds, then you know. So for our gems, we'll be running Bright Scarlet Ruby, which is a 32 AP, and then we'll be running 1 of each of these for our meta socket, which is going to be Balanced Triad Opal, and then we're also going to run a Pristine Monarch Topaz. You don't necessarily need this. If you want to, you can run AP Brazil Gem. I just see that Mir's running it, and I think it's just merely since of just getting more autos and like landing more autos against people, especially with the low Brazil amount right now. It just doesn't make any sense. Like 8 hit versus 8 Brazil, very slight damage reduction versus possibly doing more damage. So as far as your meta gem, you are going to want to run the Relentless Earth Siege Diamond. It's going to be the old 21 Agi, 3% crit meta. It's going to require you to have 1 of each gem, which is going to be really easy to comply to. Considering you can just stack AP gems and then just get those gems that I told you about as far as the blue and the orange for your yellow. And then you also have an alternative of possibly trying out this gem, which is the Powerful Earthstone Diamond, the 18 stun reduction by 15%. If you're an orc, maybe you can run this if you feel like you just kind of want to meme and just get stun less. Your biggest question at this point is probably going to be, how do you get these rings? These Kurantor rings, the Dalaran rings, right? So this is why you sent yourself gold on your alt characters from the 80 template characters. what you want to do is you want to come here on the map, the Magus Commerce Exchange or whatever. You're gonna see it's like kind of cross from the engineering place. It's a second area. You're gonna come to this vendor, and what you need to do is you need to upgrade your rings accordingly. You want to get one etched and then one runed. The rune one, this rune one is going to be equivalent to ICC equivalent gear. This etched one is the preliminary one that you can get, and you can have both. So what you want to do is make sure the one they give you, if you don't have one already, you want to buy the original one. They're called the Band of Krentor. Each one of them have a different name, but they're called like etched and then runed according to what rank they are. Looking for the Band of Krentor. So you're going to buy the original Band of Krentor, then you're going to get the inscribed Band of Krentor, then you're going to get the etched band, and then you're going to go on to the runed Band of Krentor, which is going to be here. So once you buy that, then you want to go back through, do the same process, Band of Krentor, inscribed Band of Krentor, and then etched Band of Krentor. And then you're going to have one of each. And that's going to make you do your character extremely strong compared to other characters if they do not have that already. For the enchants, what you're going to choose is going to be, for your helmet, you're going to be able to buy this off the vendor. It's going to be Arcanum of the Savage Gladiator. This is going to give you 30 stam and 25 resilience. You're going to run this. As far as your shoulders, like I said before, if you're feeling spicy and you really want to do it, you can copy over a character with a whole bunch of stuff for Squire Auto Rep, and then you can get your shoulder enchant. It's going to help you slightly, but if you feel like doing it and you're playing this character a lot, I do recommend doing it. It's going to help you. As far as your cloak enchant, you're going to run this new enchant that we have here, Shadow Armor. It's going to give you stealth plus 10 agi, so it's going to be a better stealth enchant for your cloak from TBC. That's mandatory. And then new Resilda chest, you have a 20 Resilda chest, you're going to run that. And then there's a new Bracer enchant, 38 AP. We're running that on our bracers. We have 44 AP to gloves, which is going to be Crusher. We're running that. And then legs, if you want to transfer over leg armor right now, buy one off the auction house, copy your character over, send it over. I recommend doing that. It's super cheap. Most leg enchants are like 40 or 50 gold in TBC Classic. No reason not to. I have it on my main rogue. This is obviously, I just made this one, so I don't have it yet. And then you're going to run the new Boar Speed on your boots. It's going to be called Tuskar's Vitality. It's going to be 15 stand with minor speed. You're going to need to be running that because you are not running a speed meta, so you're going to need the speed on your boots. And then no enchants in the rings, nothing like that. And then as far as your enchant on your main hand, you're going to want to run Berserking. Berserking is the Mongoose. It's going to give you a lot of damage when it procs. And then for your offhand, you definitely want to run a Titanium Weapon Chain. Not only is it going to give you hit rating, it's also going to make sure that your disarm lasts half the duration, which is going to be a lot more important in Wrath Beta because you're going to be dealing with rogues with disarm, as well as Shadow Priests that have a disarm now, as well as like warriors as they usually did before. So you definitely want to have this because it's going to completely shut you down, especially with rogues. With that new Glyph of preparation, like I stated before, it's going to give you 2 dismantles. So if they dismantle you on DR, you're literally just going to be useless almost every time you go for a Sun DR. Okay, this is going to be one of the last steps, and it's going to be super important because it's going to save you a lot of times, a lot of frustration. This is going to be setting up your dance bar. This is probably the most aggravating and time-consuming thing besides setting up your gear and gearing gear. It's just something I know a lot of people have been having trouble with. So I came up with a quick solution on how to super set it up. So now for the most important step that's going to cause you a lot of pain and suffering, but this little easy fix is going to make it a lot faster. Getting in this, setting up your dance bar. Setting up your dance bar on beta is probably the most aggravating thing if you just kind of throw yourself into it. And it's really frustrating. And it probably will make you never want to set up another rogue again, and or not finish setting up your rogue for that day, as well as just ever logging back onto beta. So this is going to be the most quick and efficient way to do that. And it's going to save you a lot of time. So first thing you really want to do is work your way down to the Battle Master. This is going to be really good because you'll be able to queue for skirms and it will reset your cooldowns. The most important part is that I recommend is before you set up your bars, you do anything else, take everything that you want to put on your dance bar, and then as you can kind of see here, put it above the corresponding action bar. That way, whenever you pop Shadow Dance, you can just drag it down. And it's just as simple as that. The biggest thing that I do want to make sure you have is Glyph with Shadow Dance. Make sure you have this Glyph, because if you do not, you're just wasting extra time. You'll have to do it like 2 or 3 times as opposed to just one try. So make sure you have Glyph with Shadow Dance. Make sure it's in your glyphs. Okay, so now this is our setup. We're at the Q Master. We have our Glyph Shadow Dance. We have all of our macros that we could possibly want, all of our abilities put above the corresponding keys, so that way we can drag it down when we pop Shadow Dance. So now we're going to pop Shadow Dance. We're going to take it, drag, drop, drop, drop this, drop that, drop that, drop that, drop that. So if you do end up messing up, what you typically want to do is you want to go to 2v2 skirms. We're queuing at this. This is why we're sitting at this queue master. Queue up a skirm. You're going to take the queue. When it pops, Q, and you can hit /AFK, or you can simply right click and then leave. And now what's going to happen is our cooldowns are reset now. So what we can do, if we miss anything, we can finish off, redrag everything else out, and then we're fully set. So that's what I recommend. It should only take you 1 try. If you do need that second try, make sure you go to this Arena Battle Master. You're here, and you queue for a skirm, and then I'll give you your cooldown reset, and you can just infinitely do it a lot faster, and that way you're not sitting around forever trying to set up your dance bar. For you guys who stay tuned to the end of this video, I have a very special secret for you guys. This big thing I'm talking about is going to be the add-on My Slot. My Slot is going to be an add-on where it literally snapshots all of your action bars, your macros, everything, and it exports it and imports it for you on any character you like. So if you're one of those people who multi-class a lot and you're playing beta and you want to play Alliance and Horde, even like different servers on the PvE server, PvP, and set up multiple characters, you're going to be able to set up things like, for instance, like I'm doing now, where I have my Pally set up, I'm a mage, my rogue, I have my updated rogue one, which I'm using right now. And then what you'll be able to do is literally just go here, select whatever you want to import, hit import, and just completely sets up everything. And then obviously the only thing you need to really worry about when you're doing this as a precaution is that racials are obviously going to have problem transferring. Since my main rogue that I have set up for this particular profile is human, it has the human racial for the trinket instead of the actual trinket. So what you will need to do is make sure to pay attention to that, especially with trinkets, with humans and the non-humans, and then drag this over to wherever your trinket bind is. That way, whenever you go to arena, you're not freaking out like, oh, I can't trinket. Obviously, it's going to be the first thing that happens. But highly recommend this. You can literally take everything that I just did in this whole video and just take this add-on and just completely trivialize it. Once you've made your first character and you are able to export it and then template it. That way you can just kind of copy paste everything afterwards. But you do need to set up that initial character before you do this add-on and make everything a lot easier for you. But for today's video, that's going to be all. I'm going to put it up here in this top right corner. It's going to be all my socials. Make sure to hit me up on any of that if you need to. Definitely want to contact with you guys a little bit more and try to figure out what kind of questions you guys have and get everything answered and get us all set up for coming up to be playing Wrath of the Lich King up in here in September, the actual full game. So hope you guys are as hyped as I am. I can't wait. I'm on Wrath beta all the time. I'm just waiting for it. So feel free, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments or anything like that if you have any questions, concerns, and I will see you guys for the next one.